What do you think about cryptocurrencies?
I think that I don't know what's going to come of them. It's interesting because I don't think it works as a currency, if that makes sense.
Why not?
It may not work as a currency because the way it works, the idea behind it is you participate in the network. Like, let's say Bitcoin.
Yep.
There's a Bitcoin network where if you own or make a transaction on Bitcoin, you get a copy of the ledger, and the ledger is a copy of everything that goes into it, right? And so most of our currency is centralized by like a government.
Yes.
And they could implement some type of cryptocurrency, but they don't really want to because then they lose a lot of control.
Yeah.
They would have to modify it. So we would have to enter like a new shift of where we don't have centralized currencies anymore. Well, they were called fiat currencies.
Yeah, I know that.
I don't see that change happening.
So you don't. So you're saying. So would you say ideally would you like it to happen?
I
Because
feel
everything
like
you're saying is the point. Like that's why they've come about. Is because they're trying to decentralize it. It's a way so that everyone can be an equal part in essentially validating the currency as opposed to just putting all this trust into these biased, countries and whatnot.
I think the issue is people just say that this is the solution. Like, okay, that must be a problem, but here's the solution. Here's this thing that we come up with.
Yeah.
And that's more difficult. Because there are a lot of other things that they've used blockchain for already, where it's very useful to have this technology.
Mm-hmm.
Currency is difficult. Because maybe...
But again, is it difficult? Because, would you... in an ideal sense, if you could click a button, would you switch it into that? Or you just think that's not practical because countries would resist it? And it would require a complete revamping that's probably not possible.
I don't
blah, blah, blah.
know, but China is trying to do one. There's talk that the U.S. might do one. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened to Facebook's, like Libra. They were supposed to do one. I don't know. Because really I've thought about this, and there's fundamentals to what is an economy and how do we build the system. Mm-hmm. And you'd have to really study that to be able to make a better guess. Because so much of what we do, it's really just a social system.
Yeah.
It's like if you make this change, how will society react? Is really the question. And
so you just don't see the benefits worth the risk.
I don't think it'll really change.
You don't think it would even benefit really? What is there to gain?
I think the thing is to the end consumer, most of them won't even notice a difference. And what may have to change is the payment networks. Because all cryptocurrencies need a network. Similar to how Visa and MasterCard have their credit card networks. So you would either Visa and MasterCard do host the cryptocurrency.
One of the TEDx speakers.
Oh, that's right.
His company is that. Yeah.
Is that? Okay.
He is the middleman.
Yeah. They take their fees.
Yeah, they take their fees and they connect you with it. So there are things sprouting up that could figure that issue out.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it's an issue. It's kind of just the same thing as what we have.
I was just saying specifically just the inability to access the cryptocurrency.
Oh, no. Yeah.
The only thing that I can think is just with it decentralized, then, and I'm going to partially talk out of my butt because I agree, I don't really see much of a change either. But when you have it decentralized, you have, I guess you could say, more control of your own money. It's not given the certain interest rates, inflation rates. But I guess it would, right? Because I'm trying to remember the examples of why like it would be a problem. Because I think about like Federal Reserve, them increasing or decreasing interest rates, but they'd still have to have some type of system doing that. I assume, right? There still have to be some base point that's, unless we want to completely revamp everything. But then we're talking about a bigger issue than just cryptocurrency.
Yeah. It's
so the only true difference is just that it's now validated not by one country is saying so, and their transactions. It's more just everybody collectively can now watch everybody, which I guess can. I guess that is the main reason to have it, is because there's zero corruption then.
You're saying if the whole world adopted one of these?
I suppose. I mean, I don't know. Maybe an argument people make is that there's a lot of corruption in the sense that once you get a lot of power and a lot of money, you can just kind of fuck with the numbers how you so choose, which might be true. I have no idea. But with cryptocurrency, you can't.
Yeah.
Because the whole blockchain network and yada yada.
I feel like it would also put like a stamp on globalization if we're all using one cryptocurrency, because then you just go anywhere and use this cryptocurrency to pay.
That'd be nice.
You don't have to do euros or whatever.
Yeah. Which, okay, and that makes sense too, because that wouldn't be possible with any of the currencies now. But it would only be possible, right? But it would only be possible with the cryptocurrency.
Like the United Nations is not going to be making a currency anytime soon.
Yeah.
Unless, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice if we had one uniform. But like, how would that work? Because like, you have a lot of countries go deep into like depressions and poverty because of the inflation of their currency. So how does that work when it's separated out?
I don't know how that happens. It's because there's like a I forget what they call it, like an influx of money. Like the Federal Reserve, for whatever country you're talking about, like determines how much money is added in every year.
Yeah, it's when they overprint.
Yeah.
They overprint and over-export, essentially.
Yeah.
And so then it just becomes less and less valuable. And eventually it gets to this point where just the money itself is just,
And they set the interest rate by controlling what rate they lend money to banks at. And, they kind of control inflation and all this. And so, like with cryptocurrencies, you have mining. Like, I don't know if people would still be able to mine. That's a weird one. Unless it's just this money is added to the pool. Because, like, the Federal Reserve, they just add money to the pool.
Right.
For cryptocurrency, people would be mining it. So, I don't know if you give exclusive rights to only countries' governments to mine it or something like that.
Yeah, how does that work? What does it even mean to mine cryptocurrency?
You start, they call it blocks, and you basically have to put it through some type of hashing algorithm, basically solve all these complicated problems. And you require like a GPU or something to do it, like computer. Computer solves these, and it unlocks the block, and it tells you the key for the cryptocurrency, and it goes into your wallet, right?
Okay.
So you kind of unlock what's in the blocks. And over time, more and more of these are released. But it's all hosted on this network. So, like, every month, there is a set amount of what can be released.
Yep.
So let's say every month you can only mine 10 Bitcoin or something like that over the entire network.
Yep.
So you'd be able to do the same thing with the...
So how does that make sense? Because with our current currencies, you obviously can't just make money. You can't print your own money.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, do you give the rights to mine it only to countries where it would replace their Federal Reserve? Or do you make it like gold where anyone can just go and mine gold? And it's basically currency. You just have to convert it to whatever currency you actually want to use.
Yeah. I mean, mining gold is like anything. You're just making a commodity that can be sold then.
Yeah, you call it a commodity, yes. Yeah. Because you can look at the cryptocurrencies as commodities. But the one big argument against them is there's no tangible value to these currencies.
You could say the same thing for paper money.
Well, yes. It's just there's control over it, where the government says it's worth this amount, and there's trust in the system. The reason that cryptocurrencies are so volatile and all these things is because there's that instability.
Mm-hmm.
But they've actually been a lot more steady than they were.
Yeah.
Even though it's not far off from the stock market, honestly. Yeah, come on. It's all these weird abstractions with technology.
Mm. Yeah, it seems like a weird battle to fight. Maybe I just don't know enough, but...
To, like, get it to be a thing?
Yeah.
I think it's just people have these philosophies about what should and shouldn't be. Like, the creators of these cryptocurrencies, like, you talk to them, and they're so passionate about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be to put in all this work.
Yeah.
And honestly, they probably will be stepping stones to whatever it is that makes it, if that makes sense.
True. Yeah. Just because they're not pointing at the right thing doesn't mean they're close, you know?
Yeah.